All right. Jesus has not yet been born. There are arguments that when God was walking in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve, then that was Jesus. But Jesus is not, he was not born to the Virgin Mary yet. We are in Proverbs. We are in the Old Testament. We are before Isaiah. We are before the 400 years of silence. We're before all of the major prophets. Okay?
We're before when Mary is born?
Jeremy, we're like 1,000 years, at least, before Mary. Okay? What did they follow? What were they? Do you know?
Jewish.
Do you know what Jesus did when he came?
He stopped the separation of Jewish and Rome?
Jews and Gentiles.
Oh.
So if he had stopped the separation of Jews and Rome, he would have had to collapse the Roman Empire.
Oh.
Which he did not do.
Yeah.
Because then, after his death and resurrection and ascension, the Roman Catholic Church came along much later, which means Rome was still very prevalent. But anyway, did Jesus begin Christianity?
Yes and no.
No.
My brain hurts.
Okay. So, Judaism, right? Jesus is a Jew. Jesus is a Jew, was raised a Jew, was raised on the Torah, was raised learning from rabbis in the temple. The Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Yeah. Okay. So, when Jesus comes, right, there's tons and tons of prophecies all throughout Isaiah. Okay? I'll read to you Isaiah 53, which is the main one later. But when Jesus comes, he does not create a new religion at all. All he does is he fulfills the old religion. He fulfills Judaism. Fulfills all the traditions, which is why now you have Messianic Jews, who are Jewish people that still follow the Jewish laws and the Jewish customs to the best of their ability, but they believe in the death, resurrection of Jesus Christ and their sanctification because of putting their faith in Jesus.
So, they're like kind of like a mix?
I guess. I've been learning more and more and more about, which is why we're in the Old Testament right now. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've only ever read to you in the New Testament.
Oh.
We're in the Old Testament now because I want to learn more and more and more about this stuff to see things. For example, our family doesn't really eat pork, right?
Yeah, no.
That's actually a very, very old custom, right? And you just got the feeling one day. You just got like the ick from it. Like you have to stop eating it, right?
Yeah.
That could have been. I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying I think it is. I'm saying it could have been, right? Possibility, might not be the correct answer. Okay? The Holy Spirit laying that on your heart. And I'm saying this because Jews see pigs as unclean animals that they should not eat. Do you know why?
Because, well, now they figured out that there's like tapeworm in them.
Yeah. But where does that come from? It's because pigs eat anything you put in front of them. Literally anything. You could give them a pig, you could give them rotten food, you could give them a human body, they eat the bones. Alright? That's kind of disgusting. I don't know if I want to be eating that. I don't know if you want to be eating that. It's kind of gross to be eating the parasites and be eating all of the trash of the earth, basically. There's also a passage in, I think it's Matthew, where Jesus is driving out demons and demonic spirits, and he drives them into pigs, and the pigs run off a cliff. The demons drive the pigs off a cliff. And so, with that in mind, if Jesus is finding pigs so unworthy that he is driving spirits and demons into them and out of his people, maybe I don't want to be eating them. And maybe you don't either. You know? Yeah. I don't know. Things like that. Are you confused about the pig thing?
I was gonna ask for like a split second. Did the pigs run off the cliff by Jesus' command, or
No. So, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's in Matthew, but with all my luck, it's going to be in, like, the last gospel I check out of all of them. Okay. Matthew 8:28 through 34. This is just a snippet into Jesus' ministry. Okay.
Okay.
When he is capitalized because it's speaking about Jesus. My Bible doesn't always say when Jesus, when the Lord. It sometimes just uses uppercase, like capital H's, to show that it's the presence of God. But when he had come to the other side, to the region of the gardeners, 2 demon-possessed men met him, as they came out of the tombs. Yes.
I thought I was.
Yeah. The tombs, in this time, were not like they weren't always underground. Sometimes they were like in caves and stuff, and they were just like large cemeteries where people's bodies were like in caskets but not buried, just stacked. So there was like family tombs and stuff. But anyway, they had come out of the tombs. They were so violent that nobody could pass that way. Suddenly they shouted, "What do you have to do with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Now, a long way off from them, a large herd of pigs was feeding. "If you drive us out," the demons begged him, "send us into the herd of pigs." "Go," he told them. So when they had come out, they entered the pigs, and suddenly the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and perished in the water. Then the men who tended them fled. They went into the city and reported everything, especially what had happened to those who were demon-possessed. At that, the whole town went out to meet Jesus. When they saw him, they begged him to leave their region. The pigs were driven over the cliff after being demon-possessed. The demons begged to go into the pigs. I don't know how they're eating pigs. You know?
Yeah.
Anyways, alright. Do you have any more questions about verses 1 through 7 before I move on to the rest of the verses?
No.
Okay, we kind of lost the plot there, but it's alright. That's the point. Verse 8. The title is Avoid the Path of Violence. "Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and don't reject your mother's teaching, for there will be a garland of grace on your head and a gold chain around your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, don't be persuaded. If they say, 'Come with us, let's set an ambush and kill someone, let's attack some innocent person just for fun, let's swallow them alive like Sheol, still healthy as they go down to the pit. We'll find all kinds of valuable property and fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot with us and we'll share all the money. My son, do not travel that road with them or set foot on their path, because their feet run towards trouble and they hurry to commit murder. It is foolish to spread a net where any bird can see it, but they set an ambush to kill themselves. They attack their own lives. Such are paths of all those who make profit dishonestly. It takes the lives of those who receive it."
So it was God talking to someone. It was.
So all scripture is God breathed,
Uh,
but King Solomon wrote this to his son.
So he was telling his son not to be foolish and, well.
Yes, not to be foolish. Do you know what Sheol is?
No.
Hell.
Oh. I mean,
the pit would also be considered hell.
I mean, if you remove S, it might be hell. I mean,
No.
no.
It's just it's Hebrew.
Yeah.
What does it mean when the passage says, verse 17 through 19, "It is foolish to spread a net where any bird can see it, but they set an ambush to kill themselves. They attack their own lives. Such are the paths of all those who make profit dishonestly. It takes the lives of those who receive it.
Either there's two possible ways for the last part. Either one, suicide.
Yeah.
Or two, their foolish actions caught up to them and they get thrown in prison for about a lifetime.
Not quite. So, what this means is, you know how our sin spreads into all aspects of our lives? Like, sin starts to control us. That's why some, like, deep sins and addictions are called strongholds, because they're holding us, right? This is talking about how we aren't, you know how we're not saved by our works, but by faith? And through our faith, our works reflect the grace of God. Their works reflect the opposite, which means that they will not be saved. And like a murderer who murders 20 people, he is hurting those people. But in the end, at the end of his life, at the end of the road, if he does not repent, he harms himself the most by sending himself into eternal damnation.
Which is hell.
Yes, but that's what this is talking about.
Oh.
It's talking about the paths of all who make profit dishonestly. Does that, you know what that means?
No.
Like shady dealers, making their money in ways that are not honest work. Have you heard the phrase honest work?
Like you actually worked hard for it?
Yeah, so they're not doing that. They're scamming people, conning people, stealing, mugging, stuff like that. It takes the lives of those who receive it. Because they are taking those things, this will be taking their life. Do you remember in the Muppets Christmas Carol, Barney and the other guy? Woo! Woo! Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. They are chained down by the guilt and the debt that they have caused other people. They're chained down by their sin.
There's something I want to write down on your notepad.
Oh, my notepad. Go get your notepad.
Well, actually, I might as well just tell you.
Yeah?
Sin is a prison cell that you're in, but you have the key in your hand. You get out of it easily if you try.
Do you want to go get your notebook? Or no? You don't gotta.
No.
Okay. That's a lot of work. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. That's why at the end of the Muppets Christmas Carol, what does Scrooge do? He confesses and he repents. Does he do it to the Lord in the movie?
No.
But he confesses his wrongs to those around him, and he tries to make up for it by turning his back to his wrongs and beginning to start doing what is right.
What everyone should do. Always try your best to be a better person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Wisdom's plea. Verse 20. Wisdom calls out in the street. She raises her voice in the public squares. She cries out above the commotion. She speaks at the entrance of the city gates. How long, foolish ones, will you love ignorance? How long will you mockers enjoy mocking, and you fools hate knowledge? If you respond to my warning, then I will pour out my spirit on you, and I teach you my words. Since I called out and you refused, extended my hand and no one paid attention, since you neglected all my counsel and did not accept my correction, I in turn will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when terror strikes you, when terror strikes you like a storm, and your calamity comes like a whirlwind. When trouble and stress overcome you, they will call to me, but I will not answer. They will search for me, but won't find me. Because they hated knowledge, didn't choose to fear the Lord. They were not interested in my counsel and rejected all of my correction. They will eat the fruit of their way and be gluttoned with their own schemes. For the turning away of the inexperienced will kill them. The complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live securely and be free from the fear of danger. Your turn. Do you have anything to say about that one? Do you need me to reread any part of it? Or define any words or anything?
No.
Do you want me to move on to Proverbs 2?
No, thank you.
No. You want to read it later tonight?
Sure.
Because I want to try to do a proverb a day with you while... Whoa, did I rip that? No. It just rained. While I do it with myself. Just because I realize that I have not been good about keeping up with you with scriptures. Which is another reason why I'm going to stop this now.